What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 35, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Granada have accepted both transfer offers for their goalkeepers, and also that Real Betis have accepted an offer from Celta Vigo of £5.5 million for Danny Pacheco. So Pacheco's on his way to Celta Vigo. There's no way I'm forking out £5.5 million for him, and there you go. But also, of course, with Barcelona B rejecting a bid for Grimaldo, looks like he's not coming into the club either. But Granada, as I said, there, accepting both bids for both Oya and Blanco, both of their goalkeepers there. £1 million for Oya, £3.3 million for Blanco. And as I've been mentioning over the past couple episodes, I don't have a scout report on Oya. I don't know how good he is. Ruben Blanco, 68 overall, has decent potential. At least I'm certainly sure he would be, only 21 years old. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in for Ruben Blanco, because I'm sure that Oya isn't bad at all. But I feel as though Blanco, even though we're paying £2.3 million more than what we'd be paying for Oya, he seems like more of the safer option, you know, the guy who we know is going to be decent at least in a few years' time. I also asked the board for some money, and they said yes. Can you believe that? Last year, I asked them for £10, and they said no. They wouldn't even give me a tenner for the bus fare home. And now they'll give us £2.88 million. That's fantastic. I'm really, really pleased with that. So I just told them that we'd up the objectives, we'd qualify for the Europa League. We did that last year, so we should be able to do the same, and also that we'd reached around the 16th stage of the Copa del Rey. Last year, of course, we reached the semi-finals. So both of those aims, you know, unless we're going to start to have some regression, both of those aims should be achievable. So yeah, the board said, okay, £2.8 million, have it. I was like, wow, seriously? You know, I was shocked when they handed me the check in the boardroom, but there you go, very pleased with that. That'll help us sign hopefully one or two more players, and I'm really, really pleased with that request funds negotiations. We then took on Molde here for the first of two games of today's episode, and of course taking on Molde, the Norwegian side here in this Europa League qualifier, desperate to win it, desperate to advance to the group stages, and we couldn't have got off to a better start. In the 24th minute, Keiko smashing in this free kick, or curling in this free kick I should say, in the 24th minute and making it 1-0, and what a free kick it was as well. You've already seen a few fantastic free kicks in this series. We've only just begun the third series, but I definitely think this is up there as one of the best. What a fantastic strike, and I know he's just outside the area, but the way he curls it round the wall into that top corner, Nyland, a blast from the past there, has absolutely no chance with this. It is right inside that near post. He's never getting to it, right into the top corner. Brilliant finish by our number 8, and he makes it Molde 0, Racing Santander 1. So we have our crucial away goal. As I say all the times in my career modes, whenever I go to a European tie, I always want an away goal. And we get one there very early on. So Molde 0, Racing Santander 1, and in the 34th minute here, Christian Fernandez plays a great ball down his right hand side towards Andy Kepa, inside towards his man, conscious tackle, but it comes back to our number 16, through towards David Contra. He finds Buenacasa, lovely little fake shot, and the shot is well saved by Nyland there as he turns the ball behind. So did that a few times for me with Millwall in my last career mode in FIFA 14, and a very good save there. So still 1-0 to Racing Santander. In the 57th minute here, Buenacasa is again denied by Nyland, so Nyland there making another good save. He did that at the den a few times for me in my FIFA 14 career mode, and he was off to a great start in this game, a couple of big saves. But Fernando Pacheco made a big save himself 15 minutes from time to keep the score at 1-0 there. As Molde came forward, I felt for sure they were going to tuck in the one-on-one, but what a big save by the former Real Madrid goalkeeper as he makes a fantastic stop, and it was how the game would finish as well. So in the end, I'm very grateful for my goalkeeper for pulling off a late save there in that game and keeping the score at 1-0. So we do win our Europa League qualifying first leg tie. So of course there is another leg to be played in Spain, El Sardinero, but very glad to get an away goal, and I'm really, really pleased we did win the first leg. The board then came to us and said, on behalf of the board, I want to acknowledge all the work and the dedication we've seen you bring to the club, and yada yada yada. Basically just saying, you know, you're doing a good job and we're really proud and everything, and we're not really surprised about that considering how well we've done with Racing Santander so far. But as you can see, following that, Oya declined his contract, whereas Ruben Blanco accepted his, and I know you're sitting there and I know that the majority of you will say that is a terrible deal. He's only valued at 600 grand and we're paying £3.3 million for him. That's £2.7 million more than he's valued at. But, after our request funds coming in and getting £2.8 million from that, after selling Mario Fernandes for £1.7 million, he was the goalkeeper I wanted. He's only 21, he's got room to grow, and quite frankly, he's not a step down from Mario Fernandes either. He's 68 overall, just like Mario Fernandes was. I personally believe that deal, it may not seem good right now, but I'm confident that in 3, 4, possibly 5 years time, we'll be looking back on it and saying what a great investment that was, because he's much better than he was when he first came in. So yeah, I guess patience is the name of the game. This is a project, this career mode, this is a real long-term project, so that includes the players coming in as well. So maybe it seems like a bad signing right now, maybe a bit of an overspend, but long-term, that's what you got to think of. I'm sure he's going to grow pretty nicely, and I've got to be confident with that signing. The worry is he's going to turn out to be a dud, just like some of the signings I've made in my career modes already, and he won't grow at all. That is the big worry for me, but touch wood, cross your fingers, hopefully that won't happen, and it'll turn out to be the next Casillas, who knows. But still, we take on Elche for the second and final game of today's episode here. It's our first home game of the season, so absolutely desperate to win it in front of the fans here at El Sardinero, and the first chance would fall directly from kickoff as they give the ball away. Keiko runs clear, one-on-one, and unfortunately for us, I blazed a shot wide. So what a bad miss that was. You don't need to tell me twice. Absolutely shocking miss on the one-on-one, and unfortunately it was still goalless. So still 0-0, really good chance there, but again a heavy touch from an Elche defender gives the ball away. Mariano runs clear, gives it to Keiko, and again he's through one-on-one. This time his shot is on target, but the goalkeeper parries it, clears it away. Kappa's crossing towards Mariano is met, but the header goes wide and behind for a corner in the end. So still goalless, and that was how the first half would finish. Pretty uneventful, only other than those two chances for Keiko. But in the second half, directly from kickoff here, Alvaro's on the ball. Great chance as we run forward and give it to Fede. Fede to Mariano. Mariano's on the ball and finds Ronnie Guza. Our 16-year-old slides it through to Mariano, and it's a good stop on the one-on-one by Herrera, and it is still Racing Santander 0, Elche 0. But in the second half here, 5 minutes after the restart, Elche do have their first chance of the game. Herrera finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez lets it run through his legs and then plays it through towards Leon. Really good chance here, and Ruben Blanco, making his debut, makes a very good save with his legs, and eventually we get the ball away. So Blanco desperate for a debut clean sheet, and a very good save there to keep it goalless. But how about this in stoppage time? Very frustrating as Elche work their way into the box here and get themselves a chance. The shot is taken and Ruben Blanco catches it, throws the ball out. We have a 3-on-1 opportunity, and the referee blows for full time, and I was like, really? You're going to blow for full time there when I'm clearly going to go one-on-one with a goalkeeper with probably 2 or 3 players? Really? It's just one of those frustrating things. And don't get me wrong, the referee is well within his rights to blow for full time there, as we have played the couple of minutes of stoppage time that were added on, but it's still like, it happens, and you just think to yourself, you've seen some dodgy refereeing decisions in this series already. It's one of those where I sit there and think, are we getting cheated out of points here or what? You know what I mean? Very frustrating, but the referee's well within his rights to do so can't complain really. Just a little bit frustrating. Well, I say a little bit frustrating, very frustrating to be honest, but there you go. Still following that, I noticed that Ruben Garcia at Levante was put on the transfer list. We try and sign him for a cheaper fee, but unfortunately, even when players do get put on the transfer list in this game, I still struggle to sign them for any less than their valuation. But Borja is on his way to Morecambe for £40,000, 10 grand less than his valuation, but such a low overall and not really developing. He was never going to get into this team, so he is on his way, and I am okay with that. And again, we put in a bid for Grimaldo at Barcelona B, but they just won't let go of the guy. We're offering lots and lots of money, way over his valuation, but the left back is clearly highly rated, and we probably aren't going to be able to sign him, as I don't want to fork out all of our budget on that player. But I put in an inquiry for Oliver Torres and also Antonio Cotan, but I don't really know too much about him, so probably won't go through with that, as Ruben Garcia goes to Everton instead of coming to us. But yeah, putting a bid for Cotan here. Don't know too much about him, but he does seem like a pretty decent youngster, my scout found. But yeah, putting a bid for Oliver Torres, putting an inquiry I should say, and Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone came back to me and said, we'll take 3.4 million, and I was like, really? Because he is one of the talented youngsters in Spain who I've heard very good things about. So I put in a bid of £2 million, and as you'll see, they asked for £10.5 million after that, and I was like, really? Seriously? You just asked for 3.4, now you want 10 million? But I put in a secondary bid of 2.5 million, 2.6 million even. And we'll wait and see what Diego Simeone says. But that seems like a very, very cheap deal for a player who I know obviously has good potential. I don't know what his starting overall is, but I've heard very good things. I've seen a lot of comments about him. I know he's on 60 grand a week, which is going to be huge if we have to pay that. But that to me could be an absolutely incredible steal. Put a new bid for Grimaldo, but this is probably not going to happen. And also Atletico Madrid said they wanted £1.8 million for Sol, who again seems like a pretty decent youngster, but I don't know if we'll be able to afford him. But we'll have to wait and see. Still a couple of very interesting deals in the pipeline, and in the next episode hopefully we'll be able to pull one of these off. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.